live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
All right, on to the real.
Yeah.
I know that this is a special one for you.
Yes, it is.
I know it.
It is.
And I'm going to tell you why in a second. It's a special one for me as well.
Okay.
So for those of you out there who are like waiting with bated breath, like what are they talking about? Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry, the Curry family, they started the Curry Family Women's Athletic Initiative at Davidson College. And it's to close the inequity gap in women's sports, which is a Title IX masterpiece, but more importantly, forgetting about what's mandated from the heart of someone who you see really support women's sports.
Yes.
This is a very big deal.
Yes.
And I love the fact that he started at his alma mater.
Yes.
I'm sure that, you know, you love this because you love Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry.
Yes.
But when you saw this, what did you think about it and how did you feel?
I was not surprised.
Of course, yeah.
Not surprised. That's why I love him, because they're just good people.
Yeah.
But I loved that he loves North Carolina.
Oh yeah.
He loves North. He don't make no bones about it. This is home, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought it was really thoughtful and really smart strategically, because Davidson's not a very large school. You can put what you need to in it. This is a great pilot, if you will, to see how what they're proposed to do, how it will work.
Yeah.
And so I was really excited about it. And I cannot wait for this to work well, so that I hope what happens is other athletes take the mantle up with him.
Yeah.
With their influence. You know what I mean? Like the person I instantly thought about when I saw this, I said, oh, if he was alive, he would have been involved with this, is Kobe Bryant.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
He would have been right there with him. Like, even though he didn't go to college, he would have found a school.
I was about to say, he would have found a school.
He would have found a school. It might have been UCLA or something, but he would have, because he'd have done it on that level probably. Right. But yes, but I hope that what this does is it ignites other athletes, male, female alike, who have this influence and this ability to take these funds that they can get and do this, because, and I love that it wasn't an equality thing.
Yeah.
It's an equity thing.
Yes.
They didn't talk about it in terms of equality. It's an equity.
You know what? I'm going to post that picture you sent me a long time ago again. When we post this story on IG, and it was a picture that like so perfectly displayed the definitions of equality and equity. And it did a really good job. And for those of you listening, you guys are going to see that probably on Saturday. But I love that picture, and I love like the illustration of it and what it shows about the true definitions of equality and equity.
What they mean, yeah.
Right.
So I'm excited. I'm excited. So what is it that you were excited about?
Well, so, and this is not to step on the story of what he did at Davidson, because this is amazing. But one of the stories that I feel like flew under the radar, and it didn't for me because, you know, I paid very close attention to what happens at my alma mater, but Steph Curry started the golf team, because we know he's an avid golfer. He started the golf team at Howard University.
Okay.
And he poured some of his own money into getting it started, getting the program started. And you know how I feel about Steph Curry. It's hard to dislike Steph Curry. I can't stand the Warriors, but it's hard to dislike Steph Curry.
That's like me with LeBron. Like, I don't like his basketball game, but him as a person, I cannot dislike. Yeah.
So shout out to the Curry family. Shout out to Steph.
Good stuff, y'all.
This is amazing, man, and it's dope that you thought so much of these women athletes to make sure to do something.
Why not
on this level at your alma mater?
Yes.
Yeah.
So awesome.
All right. Feel good final thought?
Yes.
Now, again, I gotta reiterate. Steph has been doing all the research for this show, and
whatever.
And every time she sends it to me, like I see the story and I'm like, wow, and you do a very good job of picking these feel good final thoughts.
Thank you.
Because they always meet our criteria.
Yeah.
Now, while this wasn't eyeball sweat, this really made me smile because I vividly remember, and I know we talked about this story on the podcast, and it might have been some years ago now. It's crazy that we can say some years.
Right, some years ago. Right.
We're almost at 3 years for this podcast.
We're almost at 3 years.
We talked about the story of this young lady, Eris, who played on the football team with me in high school. And, unfortunately, she was forced, honestly, to quit.
Right.
But her love for football, and I wish I knew what she was now. And if somebody could get this to her, somebody listens who knows who she is, I would love to talk to her because she loved football. I mean, I remember her coming up to me, and I mean, not to sound big-headed or whatever, but being, one of the players on the team that people knew, I remember her coming up to me and just talking about football. And the fact that she was so knowledgeable about football and what she knew at that age, like she's a prime person who I would have believed to probably continue to pursue football if those opportunities were afforded to her back then.
Right.
And so to see this story about Ashton Washington, who was just hired by the Chicago Bears as a scout, after participating in the NFL Women's Career Forum, it's exciting to see. I know that some guys still have the idea like that women should not be involved in football, and I feel like that mindset is a bit archaic because it's one thing to kind of have that idea with no frame of reference and no context behind it, but to see somebody like Eris who loved football the way that she did, who truly loved the game and studied it, to see somebody like, you don't want to see somebody like that denied the opportunity.
Just because she happens to have a certain gender.
Yeah. And so
that makes no sense.
This one is very special because it hits me personally because of that experience.
Yeah.
And so Ashton is the first full-time female scout the Bears has ever had. But we see when we talked about Adam Silver and him getting it right, we see that the NFL is starting to do the same thing.
They're starting to pull it together a little bit. They just slow to the game, but they coming together.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. Like I said, I need to figure out where 2022 gonna be because I want to be in that.
Look, as soon as I saw that there was an NFL Women's Career Forum, I was like, Steph, you're a prime candidate for that.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to be there because that's it. Okay. But I love this. I would have loved a job like that.
I know, and that would have been a good job for you.
I would have loved a job like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So kudos to you, Ms. Washington.
Yes.
Good luck. Go out there, be the best of the best.
Yeah.
Show them what you're working with. And let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. We at the end of another one.
Yeah.
Episode 125.
Yeah.
25 down. We got 75 to go.
Yeah. We doing show picks?
Huh?
We doing show picks?
Yeah, we doing show picks.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, we gotta talk about this.
But of course, I'm about to say
all three of these is good.
I'm about to say all three of them are good, and I watched the one that you told me about a couple weeks ago, and I got to talk about the circumstances behind this thing. But no, so, show picks. What you watching?
Listen, everybody been watching this. Everywhere I go, I hear people buzzing about this show.
Really?
Clickbait.
I've not seen that.
Oh, you got to go watch it, Jarrett. Okay, listen, I'm sorry. And don't do it on a day when you got to be some, because you're not gonna want to stop.
Oh, it's one of those.
It's one of those.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to watch that on a Sunday where I can.
Yeah, you need to not have nothing. I'm telling you, because you're not gonna. It was so well written that you do not have a clue. This is what I like. What's going on? The whodunit to the end, to the very end.
Okay.
Not a clue. You might think you know, but you don't know.
What's it on?
That kind of thing. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
I'm telling you. My former apostle, she posted on Facebook like, everybody stop what you're doing. And just go watch clickbait. Just go watch clickbait. So that's one. And I was gonna hold this next one, but I can't.
Yeah.
Funny, Cord and I just talked about this today because he said he watched it too. Titletown High.
Okay. I still haven't watched that. My guy, shout out to DC. One of my guys in DC, we called him DC.
Okay.
He called me on Sunday and was like, man, have you watched that show Titletown High?
Oh my God. So it's about a high school. It's about Valdosta High School. In Valdosta, Georgia. And just because they're the winningest high school champion winningest championship high school in the country. They've won 24.
Jesus. Yeah.
But it's been 20 years since they won the last
one. Yeah.
So it is so good.
Well, the list of NFL players that have come from that high school is and you can see it like ironically a few years ago I went down there. Shout out to my guy BJ Brian Abson Jr., who was playing at Cale High School, and he went down to a camp down there, and I went down with him and his dad. Shout out to UB. I went down there to a camp with his dad, and you can see the players on the stadium as you're walking into the stadium. The stadium doesn't even look like a high school stadium, and that's one of those stadiums down here in Atlanta. But this stadium, I'm not even going to admit this on air, but this stadium looks better than some college stadiums. I'll just say that. Yeah. But
no, for real.
All of the play. Yeah.
Yeah. It's watch it.
Yeah. Was it Keith Brooking that went there? I want to say Keith Brooking went there. Maybe Jesse Tuggle and a couple of Falcons.
Oh yeah,
which is ironic,
absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely, yes. No, I'm telling you. And the kid, so they shot this in 2020.
Okay.
So the kid might be. I don't even know where he ended up going to school. I think he was supposed to go to Arizona State. The quarterback that they had originally. Okay. Joe, no. Darn it, I can't think of the kid's name right now.
Oh, that's okay. That happens to us often.
It does. But no, it's really good. Yeah. It's everything that is right or wrong with high school football. That's what I
gotta check that out. I haven't been able to watch it yet.
Everything right or wrong with high school football is in that show.
I'm gonna check it out.
It's good.
Yeah.
All right, you watched what I told you to watch.
I watched what you told me to watch, and you gave me a little bit of insight on what it would be, but you didn't tell me the most important part about this movie.
Oh God, they were from Howard.
Oh, but now I wasn't even just talking about that, but yeah, they were from Howard. So as soon as she said HU in the movie, I said, you know. But one of the most important parts that you left out was that it was shot in DC.
Yeah. Sorry.
And so, like, even from the one thing I felt like they really got right is that because they made it from DC, they really used DC culture in the movie.
They did the go-go, and
they had the go-go in the beginning. They went to Ben's Chili Bowls. You saw them outside of Ben's Chili Bowls or Ben's Chili Bowl, and like it was some very nice staples. Like they made reference to U Street. Yeah. And so they got the culture part of DC right now. I just love that about the movie.
Okay. See, that didn't even
And
I don't know. So
I still love the movie, even though the premise, honestly, and you told me this, was the same as Love Jones.
It was Love Jones 2021.
Yeah. And I hate that they actually use Chicago as the place where she went, because that's the same place where Nia Long went in Love Jones. I was like, I could have used a different city though. Like
I sent them to Atlanta.
Right. And that would have been perfect. Send them to Atlanta. Man.
But no, it was Love Jones 2021, but it was still good.
No, it was still good. It was still good. Kofi Siriboe is a really good actor. I just loved it. Was a star-studded cast too.
That's what I said. Like y'all really went and pulled out all the stops for this.
Right. They had Mac Wiles in there. They had what's my guy name? Michael Ealy. And the dope thing about having Michael Ealy in it is that Michael Ealy is actually from Silver Spring, which is right outside of DC.
Really home for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was good. And by the way, we're talking about Really Love again, y'all.
I didn't say the name?
No. That's the name of the movie. Really Love.
I do that.
In case you want to go see it for yourself. It was really good.
On Netflix. Check it out.
Yes, very good. So today was just Netflix day because all of these.
Yeah, all these are Netflix ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. We out of here.
Yeah.
If you want to check us out on, if you want to send us something, or if you want to be on the show, you want to give us some feedback, you want to just rap to us. You can hit us up in our email at fieldgoodfinalthought@gmail.com. You could do the same thing certainly on IG or Twitter, and IG is at fieldthe2thereal podcast. Twitter is at fieldthe2thereal P1. You can certainly go to not YouTube. You can certainly go to Facebook to see where our videos are and when they're posted. And it'll give you a link straight to our YouTube page. And so go to our YouTube page. It's the Field to the Real podcast. Make sure that you subscribe, you like, share. We have a large library of videos at this point.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And so definitely check us out, and, just let us know that you're watching, you know what I'm saying? Like,
please and thank you.
Right. And so we thank you guys that, continue to listen, continue to connect and vibe with us as we talk about sports, and more importantly, as we do the work of servicing these athletes, because ultimately that's what our mission is. It's funny. I heard someone, not heard, but I was looking at someone in our group chat today talk about what Howard needs as far as like connecting the old players with some of the newer players for like mentoring and mentorships and stuff like that.
Sounds familiar, huh?
Don't that sound familiar to y'all? No? Have I not talked to y'all enough about it?
Y'all need to hear it.
Right. Y'all need me to send y'all a proposal?
Right. Maybe we do. Like, hey.
But yeah. Definitely reach out to us and let us know how you feel about not only the podcast, but also the project. If you could, if you have a connection with some of these athletic directors or people in high positions at some of these schools, we would certainly appreciate the plug, because this work that we're doing is not just something that we just want to do. This is God's work.
Absolutely.
And we've committed our lives to it at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So
yep.
Now, as always, man, we love you guys and we appreciate you. But we out of here.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.
Put the cameras on me. 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 Put the cameras on me.